Hey guys, good morning. So welcome back to Tiff Talks 22. Y'all. So we are here to do a reading for Malcolm Jamal Warner. I feel like this is going to be two-parted. If it is, we'll do this one spread as the first part, and then we'll go through my personal deck as the second part. And the link to the second video will be in the description box below. Guys, you see this energy? So, Malcolm Jamal Warner, known mostly to the public and people my age as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. I say my age. I think everybody knew him as that because they still do reruns somewhere, right? So everybody knows Theo Huxtable is, Malcolm Jamal Warner is Theo Huxtable from The Cosby Show. So, you know, that show was super prominent and to our childhood, our growing up, right? It was a very popular show, something that was super high vibrational and just really good for the culture. That said, Malcolm Jamal Warner, outside of that that show, especially too with his name, I've seen so much positivity about him and who he was outside of being an actor, as far as being a musician, a friend, etc. I've also seen, you know, about his relationship with Regina King. Honey, I held on to that. Like, that was one of my first thoughts, like, wow. Because it was shocking to hear how he handled that. But that was a long time ago, right? He had since moved on and married a young lady, and had like an 8 or 9-year-old daughter with her. This young lady that he was married to, you know, I'm gonna give you the little rundown. This is what I've seen and I know to be, right? This young lady that he was married to is of like Black and Puerto Rican descent. So she is biracial, right? But when I tell you this man kept her identity private, it was kind of like those who know and need to know will know and do know. Like, I was only able to find one photo of her, and in that photo, maybe she was like this. So well, I was only able to find one photo of her at first, and then I started seeing her name. But guess when I started seeing her name? Just yesterday, and this is Friday. I saw 2 different names for her, but then this one, I'm pretty positive this is her. Tanisha Torres, I believe, is her name. Anyway, so super private about his relationship. And to a degree, you would understand that, right? Because you want to protect your significant other from the foolishness. But even if that's the case, like, it still shouldn't be like having to do research to figure out who your spouse is. That's just kind of odd and weird. Anyway, so we heard on Monday morning that Malcolm Jamal Warner was pronounced deceased after an accidental drowning. I broke that news to 2 different people, right? But when I was telling them an accidental drowning, I kept saying, I didn't keep saying, I said it this way. I was like, Malcolm Jamal Warner is dead. And I said, he allegedly drowned. And it's like the word allegedly was involuntary. Like, I wasn't meaning to say allegedly. And I was like, well, I don't know why I said allegedly. And just kept talking. Then the second person I told, same thing happened. And I was like, why does Spirit keep having me say allegedly? I got goosies right now. Why does Spirit keep having me say allegedly, right? And I said, something's not being told. Something's being hidden. Something's not being said, right? And so I was just kind of laying across my bed, and I was like, I feel like I got to do a reading about this. So I pulled some cards. I asked my guides, first of all, am I supposed to do this reading? And it was like a yes. Then I said, is there something going on with this? Of course, yes. And I got that 7 of Swords card. 7 of Swords, if you are familiar with tarot, is a card of deception. For me, in these types of readings, it is a card of some type of cover-up or a staged energy. It could just be something is not what it seems to be, which I guess is the same as all of those things. I wasn't ready to do the reading yet, right? Yesterday, I sat straight up out of my bed yesterday morning at 555. 5 is all about change. It's all about conflict. It's all about challenging energy, right? I mean, sat straight up, felt good, energy good, but it was a 555. Okay. Bolo, right? Also, let me mention that when I was telling the person about the second person about the his passing. And I said allegedly. Then I was like, something's, I looked up. Y'all know I be outside a lot, in my meditation space on my patio. There was a hawk. Like I wasn't looking up. I just saw the shadow of this humongous bird, and I looked up, and there was a hawk. Hawk for me is usually a confirmation of my intuition. Like whatever it is I'm thinking or saying is accurate at the time. So there's the hawk. So yesterday morning, get up at 5:55. It's supposed to be hellfire hot outside. So I'm like, I'm gonna go walk early. I go on my walk, my morning walk. I'm coming back and I'm contemplating Malcolm's energy. And I went and sat by the waterfall for just a second. I meant to stay, but I was sitting there and I saw a video where TMZ, because this allegedly happened in Costa Rica, his body was brought to shore sometime on Sunday. He was pronounced deceased after they tried to resuscitate him for an extended period of time. So this happened in the sea. So I'm sitting over by the waterfall, and I saw this video from TMZ where they showed the beach where this happened, right? Y'all, this water was raging. I don't give a doggone how good of a swimmer you are. This is not the type of water you would intentionally enter to go for a swim. I looked at this water and I said, in my head, he did this to himself. And I immediately got like emotional. And I was like, I gotta go do this reading. So when I got up, I come in the house and I tried to speak those words to someone in my home, and just automatic emotional overwhelm. So that for me is a confirmation, right? Y'all know I feel pretty deeply, right? It's part of my gift. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, I got to do this reading. I pulled some cards from my personal deck. The very first card, confirmation, right? If you know, these cards tend to be pretty flimsy, right? So once I pull them, I go back and confirm with spirit, what do they want me to keep and what came out accidentally? What is a throwaway? Or what maybe, I say accidentally, no accidents. But if it's not relevant to this situation right now, I don't need to know about what everything he's experienced in life, right? So if it's not relevant to right now, I get rid of it. So of course, this one card though, it flipped out immediately upright by itself. So I knew it was very, very much so meant to be. And we'll talk about those in just a moment. Then something said, look up the definition of drowning. Y'all, so you know how in a dictionary, they'll give you the definition of the word, and then they use the word in a sentence. I'm going to just say it. I don't care if they demonetize this video. It's just my purpose to give the message, right? So I look up the definition on, I just Google it, hey, Google, define this word, right? And so it says, intentional, submerging, underwater, like to kill. And so, or death caused by, right? And so the example sentence, y'all, it said, the man committed suicide by jumping into the sea to drown himself. I kid you not. I was like, what? What are the odds of that being the example sentence? At this point, because I'm like, so I'm sitting on the patio. This is after my morning walk. Sitting on the patio. Guess what was in the sky? Goosey's right now. Guess what was in the sky? You guessed it. If you guessed this, a hawk. A hawk. So I came inside, laid out the cards. Y'all, there's a lot that's going on that's not being said, that's not being shown, that I don't think will be said or shown. But we're going to say it here in this reading today. If you watch part 2, I'll probably take this intro explanation and add it there in case, whichever one you watch first. But this is going to be part 1. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. I feel like Malcolm was a good and kind energy, high vibrational energy, right? But also that when someone is like that, if you never see them angry, or they are always like, oh, there's such a light in it. Okay, because everybody have a bad day. You know what I'm saying? So I remember a religious leader in my personal life saying that at one point, like anybody who's just always sunshine and rainbows, kind of watch them, because they might explode one day and scare the heck out of everybody, right? So I used to be like, because I'm a Leo, I'm a feisty Leo. His birthday too is 2 days after mine, but I'm a feisty Leo, right? And so that passionate side, sometimes flared temper side, definitely comes out. And I used to try to kind of change that or dim it down. Not used to, but yeah, kind of used to. But I'm like, no, no, no. I want to be able to be myself all the time. So if you piss me off, I'm gonna let you know you piss me off, right? And I hope that I'm a light to a lot of people. I know that I am, but I'm also I try to be very transparent and honest about, oh baby, it's in there though. Like, you can get it if you need to get it. But this is not the energy that he shared. And so there's a lot of a sense of energy control. I mean, image control, right? Trying to control either what people think of you, see or believe about you, right? And like I said, his birthday 2 days after mine, baby. So I know it's in there. All right. But let's get into this reading. We're going to do the circle reading that I traditionally do. And yeah, this is part 1. Let's go. Oh, wait. Also, when I do my readings, whether it's this type of reading or love readings or what you need to know, whatever the case, I'm super intentional about the colors that I wear on camera, not because I want to look a certain way, but Spirit usually guides me to wear colors that align with either the message or the chakra that I need to pay attention to for me personally, or the reader needs, or something that aligns with the reading. Y'all, I don't really wear black. I'm always fussing at my kids about wearing black. I love it. I used to love the color. But as I awaken and evolve, like black is a super energetically absorbent color. So I just don't wear it very frequently because I'm so sensitive, right? And they don't tell me to, because we know this. When I've got it to wear black or black and white, it's usually because there is something kind of deep about the energy in the reading that may be subconscious depth, or mental energy, and maybe even dark, right? So I was super shocked yesterday when Spirit said, okay, we're wearing black today. And I feel like that's part of my hesitation, where I was like, So yeah, a lot of these cards have been sent out since yesterday. This particular circle, I just laid it out this morning. They just have set out all day. But I feel like, even though it feels like procrastination to me, God gives me what I need as I need it, not to force or rush the case. I really don't like to do it like same day that they pass away, because even in laying out these cards, there was an energy of me being guided to share a card, and then a different energy saying, no, don't say that or leave that out, right? But then I'd be like, ancestors, or archangels, whoever I called, and should I keep this in? And they were like, yes. So there's still an energy here. Goosies. There was still an energy in laying out the cards of like controlled image. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's get into it. Part 1. So guys, the situation that led up to his death, his transition, we have the occupation card, right? Initially, this is a card, or traditionally, about work. However, if you've watched my readings before, you guys know, and then this being Costa Rica too, I feel it only appropriate. You guys know that this, Goosey Spirit said that's the correct way. Okay, so with this card, I associate this card with worry, with concern. In Spanish, the word for worry is preocupado. It is very similar to this word occupation, but the word is preocupado. So even if there's like a happiness or joy around something, there's something below the surface, usually that you are worried about, right? That you may not be saying. So, yeah. So right out the gate. Okay. So someone was worried about money. Someone was worried about money, maybe losing money, or potentially a door being closed, or some type of debt or financial debt here. What's this? 5 of coins. Maybe waiting for some type of payout. Oh, listen, Okay. So there is a choice or decision being made, a crossroads being made. Um, this is coming out. These three cards have come out between the moon and the sun. This energy for me is an eclipse energy. Eclipse is like something being cut out of your life. What is being cut out of your life? This energy of decision, needing to make a decision about what? Perhaps about love, a new start, or a new beginning. After someone may have been blindsided by something or not see something coming. And then here we have this energy of waiting on money or trying to weigh the options here. Yeah. Someone's feeling stuck. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me fill you in. Someone's feeling stuck or trapped in a situation in regards to a partnership or a couple energy. Why? They're feeling like they lost or they're disappointed about something. Perhaps because of something that this Queen of Swords has said or truth that has been spoken here that kind of caused some type of shock about this relationship or this partnership. Where the star is, or feeling like the star being Malcolm, is feeling like they're either having to fight or going to have to fight or defend themselves against this Queen of Cups. Someone that they have this love and compassion or, you know, emotional bond or tie to. So I feel like, too, this is an energy of a choice or decision about an action being taken that could or would suddenly change things and either give someone the upper hand or take their power from a situation. Does that make sense? Because we got this Ace of Wands. Ace Wands are all about action with the Tower card. This action being taken, it can definitely be an physical intimacy type of card, but that ain't what the energy is here. This action being taken that would cause this upheaval or upset here and give our star the power. Okay. This is someone who is losing sleep, stressed, worried, super anxious about either this choice or this decision. They're dealing with some inner conflict here. Could be having an argument. Could be internal, or this could be anxiety caused as a result of an external argument here. However, they may have walked away from something or trying to get away from this argumentative energy or this energy of conflict here. And it's just like, who knows where the future goes, right? This is somebody who meant to kind of get lost. Okay. They were maybe trying not to either not have this confrontation. Look at the bottom of the deck. Ace of Swords. Either not have this confrontation or not make too hasty of a decision, like in reacting like emotionally. But I feel like this is somebody who may have saw or felt something from an intuitive standpoint that they denied or they were in denial about. So let's talk about that. Yeah. So there's the energy here of someone saying, I knew it was too good to be true. I knew that this was what it boiled down to. I knew that someone was either in a space or an energy, maybe love bombing even, because they had like this ulterior, because it was about the money. They had this ulterior motive. I knew that this would end in divorce. Y'all, when I tell you ever so randomly, I saw a video. It wasn't the video. It was the transcript. You know how when you Google something, right? Oh, you know how when you Google something, it'll give you like a little preview of what the article is about? This man said, I knew I didn't ever want to get married for someone to take half of my shit. But they had kind of bleeped the shit out. Like they put the asterisks and all those little marks in there so that you couldn't, see the profane part of it. I was tempted to watch that video, but for him to be publicly such a calm person, and then on his podcast he used a profanity about that, baby. I was like, okay, he felt strongly about that. That's what that energy looked like. Okay. So that's the start of the situation. So this next card, guys, is the unpleasant fact of the matter. This is what is true, but may not be so great to hear. I kid you not. Jackpot. I just heard those crows. Jackpot. Sudden wealth. So something is happening. Something is happening that's going to, ooh, I'm going to take those back just like that. Leave someone in a better position financially. Money that either they didn't expect. That they didn't expect. Listen, I'm telling you, money that they didn't expect, or but still the same, they get the money. Clarifying this card, we got the Lovers and the Hierophant. I want to clarify the Hierophant before I speak about this. Okay. So the Lovers card is a person or partnership or family member like that you have this intimate bond, tie, or connection to. But as we clarify this Lovers here, look at that. We have the Three of Swords with the King of Cups, followed by the Ten of Swords with the Three of Cups. Y'all, this is an energy of disappointment, loss, hurt, betrayal. This King of Cups can be an emotional bond, this masculine energy, but it can also be like someone that you have this emotional bond or tied to, but you may be severing ties because look, or putting a boundary in place. Look, we have this Ten of Swords, this energy of devastation, a painful loss, and ending here. But then the Three of Cups suggests you win kind of energy, right? So the Lovers card, also having been formerly called the Choice card, can be about a decision or choice that leads to this positive outcome for someone, right? As we clarify the next card, the Hierophant. The Hierophant, the reason why I wanted to go ahead and clarify it was because I feel like it's going to be 3 parts. The Hierophant is a card of marriage, commitment, tradition, right? So I'm clarifying it. It can also be wisdom. It can also be government, an organization of some sort. So I wanted to clarify it to get this clear message. Y'all, the first card out is the Eight of Cups here, but the Eight of Cups is in reverse. So this Eight of Cups, this is about his marriage. So this Eight of Cups in reverse is like you stayed in a relationship, a job, or a situation longer than you needed to, right? Even if you fear the change, it's now time to walk away from something. But the Moon card suggests that this is like a subconscious, either subconscious thought or like something that's hidden there's a little secrecy behind it. Then this card, the Six of Wands, is also in reverse. This card, guys, is the ultimate card of appearance or image. It is also often associated with Leo energy, which he was. But here we have it in reverse, which indicates like something's not turning out the way that you had hoped that it would. It's something that's disappointing, that is a setback. It's a delay, but it's like something that's a part of the process, right? Or it was a part of the process. But here it is. You feel like it's a necessary part of the process, right? Even though you may have kind of not anticipated it. Following that, the Nine of Cups in reverse. This is somebody who is concerned about their achievements. They may need like some type of validation or be used to some type of recognition. I want to clarify that because it can also be intoxication, right? An energy of overindulging in the drinking, the spirits, the alcohol. So we have the Emperor and the Nine of Swords in reverse. Honey, so this is somebody with the Nine of Swords in reverse. This is somebody who is in deep distress. All right? That Nine of Swords, we already talked about in the beginning, is in deep distress. Like this is total despair for this Emperor, this man, this father figure here. But then we have a plan or strategizing for the future here, connected to this Two of Cups energy, this romantic partnership that is now in disarray or disharmony here, with this about this family or this family dynamic with this Ten of Coins in reverse. Y'all, thank you so much, Spirit. This definitely suggests like a challenging time within the family where you could be arguing about finances or property or a home even. And it's like, as a result of it, some type of balance could be reached. What's the balance? Somebody gets their money. They get this payout. They get rich quick. They gain this sudden wealth. Okay. And then it's like, okay, somebody's ship's coming in, like something good is happening, either for my child or for my baby. Even my child, that Page of Cups. Goosies, 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 goosies. Whew. So this is somebody who was trying to take care of their daughter. However, their daughter, their child, the Page is a female energy usually. Take care of their daughter or their child in the midst of this confusion, even though it may result in some type of loss or disappointment or upset, right? And then we have this Queen of Cups, which is also in reverse. So this is like an energy of suspicion or caution, or someone like taking their feelings away from somebody. It can also be an energy of concern about feeling judged or rejected by this energy. Like the Queen of Cups, like someone may have made a choice, which we can see what that is about. Yeah. And this is having somebody feeling like a low sense of self-worth or self-esteem, or just feeling undervalued here. This Empress with the Emperor, the Star. So somebody's feeling rejected by this person or this situation, and they feel blindsided by it. Oh my goodness gracious. And then it's like, then you can have the finances. You'll be able to stack up this money, this wealth, but you won't have control over me or this situation. If I take this impulsive action that leads to this ending. Because this is somebody who doesn't want to or didn't want to go through the courts or get a divorce. Okay? But this will work out in your favor. It's almost like, it won't be like I lost this stuff to you in a court of law. Like, just here, take it, right? And when I'm saying that, it's kind of like maybe in the will or life insurance or whatever the case, right? Okay, so what is the lie? I thought this was interesting when I saw this card. The lie in this situation, guys, is this card of expectation. When I see this card, you see the young lady sitting, staring, looking out the window, waiting for this person, this masculine energy to return. Spirit said that's a lie. Whoever this is likely knew that this person wasn't coming back. Okay? So I've seen or heard, I didn't see the article, but I've seen someone say that it had been reported by news outlets that Tanisha said that he was gone for an hour and she'd expected him back, but he took so long because it had already been an hour. Either she started to look for him or she sent somebody to look for him, whatever the case, right? Spirit said that's a lie. I just saw 3355 on the clock. That 3's 33, that's the energy of creation, right? It's also a master number, and 55 is the energy of conflict. So that conflict is significant. You may get to see that in part 2. Anyway, this energy of expectation is a lie. This card for me is about someone is left and you're waiting for them and anticipating their return. No, you're not. But you want to give, ghosts. But you want to give the appearance of such. You want people to think that's what you were doing. Why do I say that? Because here we have this 6 of Wands energy right here. Okay? Y'all, this feel like this is going to be a dang on saga. You have this 6 of Wands energy right here. Somebody here maybe had hesitated to take some type of action with this Ace of Wands in reverse. And also with this Tower in reverse. Maybe telling yourself, oh, it's not that bad. But look. We have the King and the Queen of Swords in reverse. Let me tell you something. This is like the energy of conflict in itself. The Queen of Swords she's a bee for sure, y'all. This person can be critical, overly critical, judgmental, harsh with their words, right? Just, yeah, a ruthless type of broad. Like say the craziest things. And then this King of Swords, he's not much better, right? But like he can think like he's smarter than the average bear, right? So this could be somebody who's trying to figure out how to outsmart the other. This is the feminine and the masculine energy. Like they think they're smarter than other people. But also they have a tendency to be critical and judgmental as well. But this can also carry the energy of somebody like trying to fight being controlled. Like, you won't be able to control me. So so this energy of expectation, look at this. This energy of expectation. Oh, what I just read to you, OMG, was that Knight of Swords energy. We got the King of Swords and the Knight of Swords in reverse. This Knight of Swords is the aggressor. This King of Swords. Hold on a second. The Knight of Swords in reverse and the King of Swords in reverse. Aggressive energy. Somebody taking something to the extreme. But behind that Queen, we got the Seven of Swords. This card of deception, right? So what I feel like is not being said here is like this energy of conflict, or like I was just waiting for him to lie. You're not going to talk about the argument, but I feel like most people don't, because if they say they have an argument before someone storms out, they won't share that part. Hopefully they're sharing it with the investigators, but it doesn't really matter in this instance. The next question is, what is the obstacle to the truth in this matter? Boom. The family room. The family room suggests, and this is the obstacle to the truth, like why we ain't getting the truth, because either family is not telling it all, something or someone that you have intimate relationships with, that can be emotionally intimate, physically intimate, whatever the case. These are the people that know you well. They ain't gonna let the reality of what's happening get out. They're not gonna tell the full story, or they're gonna control the narrative as far as what the public sees and knows. Why? This lovely, happy couple is a lie, but we can protect his image. Okay? So that's why we ain't gonna get the truth. All right. The next question is about exposure. Will the truth be exposed? Not so much. That Eight of Swords energy, people ain't talking. Nobody's saying anything. We also have the Journey card, and Spirit told me to leave both of those, so I want to know what that journey is about. It can also, that can be, it's a 10. So there can be the energy of an ending, going somewhere and returning, like a round trip energy. Yeah, so people want it to be like, his family wants it to be like, okay, this is a story, just leave it at that. This relationship, this new beginning here, this energy of abundance, we don't want any of that discussed. You also have here the Page of Wands in reverse. So that Page of Wands is about taking like some type of impulsive action and not really having a plan in place. It can also be about like disappointment regarding a reputation. They don't want that to be the case, right? Just accept this as a loss, a very tragic loss, right? Damn, that's wild. What is it that we don't see? This energy of the courts, the judge, the warehouse, the courts, the judge, the courthouse, law. So I've also seen, heard, been told that Tanisha, his wife, is an attorney, which may be also why she's very good at hiding her identity, because like they tend to be that. Like it's hard to find personal information about attorney online because they know how to get stuff scrubbed, right? Anyway, so we have this courthouse card. It's a 5. And we also have this card of the gift. So let me see what it is that we don't see here. That courthouse can also give the energy of judgment. Let me see what this is about. Also, let me look at this gift card. The gift card, of course, is usually like a positive expectancy or expectation, right? Like something, I don't know why I just chuckled. Um, like something having it's like a positive energy. Like this, okay, this is a good thing, right? But it kind of softens the blow that comes with the courthouse. So there may be an energy of like, okay, now this person doesn't have to deal with the harsh reality of a divorce. Who is this person? The Page of Cups, this daughter energy. Now this person doesn't have to deal with the divorce energy. This person doesn't have to worry about financial debt or taxes or disclosing any extra information. She can keep something to herself. Who is that? Queen of Cups, this female energy that I love. Even though here I am, Malcolm, as the King of Cups with this Four of Cups energy. Like it is definitely a sense of unhappiness, like an attachment to the past, but there's like this dissatisfaction with it. It's like this person won't be able to kind of retell old negative stories, right? So that may be old negative or past stories. That may be to avoid court or public exposure. Why? And judgment and criticism about images and appearances. I'm doing something that is going to keep me with the upper hand. You won't be able to embarrass me or make me look like a fool or tell some horrible things about me or this situation. And someone took because somebody took this type of action that was likely done out of frustration. So this little project right here, pause, this little divorce project here, not going to be able to do it if I'm not here, right? My child won't be a product of divorce. Here we have, when I ask Spirit, this is like, okay, where to look for more information. We have the official person, which could be a soulmate partnership type of energy, or this can also be, as you can see, he's wearing a uniform, law enforcement officials. And who else? The privileged lady, the Queen of Pentacles. That's most definitely this female energy. His wife is who I'm thinking. I asked that. I said, is that his wife? Absolutely. His wife. This is going to be someone who is spoiled, well pampered, taken care of, loved, financially, materially, supported, used to getting their way, etc. So these are the people that know more. The outlook or the outcome here is going to be this false person. Who's the false person? We have this man back here hiding this, wearing this mask, but look who's in the front with the fan in front of her face. She is hidden. She is someone who is deceptive or liar or dishonest, or there's more to her or this situation than meets the eye. Okay, y'all, I'm not running out of too much space. We may be able to get it all in here. So yesterday I asked Spirit from the Akashic Tarot deck to show me some cards here connected to this situation. Y'all, we got the Queen of Scrolls. Who is she? She's the Queen of Swords. She is someone who is and can be highly intelligent, someone who is intellectual, good with their words, but also can be like somebody who yields that sword in a kind of brutally blunt or harsh way. I feel like there was something said or a message that was delivered that made Malcolm feel like this lookout card. For me, this lookout card is like a Three of Swords in traditional tarot, right? You see this person is standing here looking out, but the ship is on fire, okay? The ship is on fire. This card is kind of a reminder that even though you're in the middle of a battle or a challenging or hard or difficult situation, there are ways around it or alternatives. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. So it's a reminder to look for a way out, look for a plan. And then it makes perfect sense that we have, gooses, that we have this Eight of Scrolls, the Eight of Swords energy here. You see the person, there are like, how many paths? 1, 2, maybe 3 paths to choose from here. This is somebody, an energy where they're stuck in their head. They're feeling trapped, like I have a choice or a decision to make. But then it's like, what will that choice or decision be? Do I go where I would normally go? Do I handle it that way? Or do I take a path that seems to be glaring in front of me that may be different from how I would normally handle something? Let's do something different, right? This is that type of energy. And then we have the Akashic Field, the One of Forces, which is that Ace of Wands energy. Ace of Wands is like a bold action, something that is out of my comfort zone, but it's bold that it leaves me in a position to win. Y'all, I might get this whole reading in without it being a part 2. Um, I don't think I want to, because I want to be able to talk about these cards. So yeah, I'll see you in part 2 for this deck, because this where it was interesting. Yeah, I think the whole thing is interesting, but this kind of dropped my jaw a little bit. But let's get into it in part 2. All right. See you soon.